High above the city of Rio de Janeiro, where clouds drift through the mountains and the ocean meets the sky, stands one of the most recognizable figures in the world, Christ the Redeemer. Arms wide open, watching over millions, the statue has become a symbol of peace, faith, and unity. But behind that calm gaze lies a story far more complex. A story of ambition, politics, and mysteries hidden within the stone. How did this monument come to stand atop Corcovado Mountain? Who really built it, and why? And what secrets lie within its creation that few people dare to question? Today we're going to uncover the untold story behind Brazil's greatest symbol, a tale of art, faith, controversy, and the silent power of a statue that watches everything from above. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. What do you feel when you look at the Christ the Redeemer? Peace, or something more mysterious? It all began with a dream, a vision to place a colossal figure above Rio de Janeiro, one that would look down upon the city and bless it from the heavens. At the end of the 19th century, Brazil had become a young republic, and the influence of religion in politics was beginning to fade. Yet many people feared that the nation was drifting away from its spiritual roots. That's when a group of religious leaders and local citizens began to imagine something extraordinary. A monument that could unite faith and nation, heaven and earth. They chose the perfect location, Corcovado Mountain, a towering peak overlooking the entire Bay of Rio. The name itself, Corcovado, means the hunchback, a mountain that seemed to bow before the sky. Early designs were simple. Some even imagined a large cross. But over time, the idea evolved into something far more powerful. A statue of Christ with open arms, embracing not only Rio but the entire world. This vision wasn't just about religion. It was about identity, pride, and resilience. A declaration that Brazil would rise, visible from every corner of the city. And so, the dream began to take shape. But transforming that dream into reality would take years of struggle, faith, and secrets hidden in the stone. Turning a dream into stone is never simple. For the Christ the Redeemer statue, it took decades of planning, diplomacy, and unwavering faith. In the 1920s, a group of devoted Brazilians began raising funds for the project. But this was no small ambition. They needed architects, engineers, and artists who could shape faith into form. The man chosen to design the monument was Heitor da Silva Costa, a Brazilian engineer with a bold imagination. His vision was to create not just a statue, but a masterpiece that would stand as a beacon of faith high above Rio. To bring the idea to life, he turned to French sculptor Paul Landowski, who crafted the statue's head and hands in Paris before shipping them across the ocean. Another key figure, Carlos Oswald, designed the statue's open arm pose, a symbol of both welcome and protection. The material? Soapstone, chosen for its softness, beauty, and resistance to weather. It gave the monument its smooth, radiant glow, especially when touched by the sun at dawn. But the mountain was unforgiving. Workers faced dangerous winds, steep cliffs, and unpredictable weather. Still, they persevered, climbing daily to carve the figure piece by piece, as if building not just a statue but a prayer in stone. When it finally began to rise, people below in Rio could see the form of Christ taking shape above the clouds, arms opening wider each day, as if to embrace the entire world. It was no longer just a monument. It was faith made visible. Standing 710 meters above sea level, Corcovado Mountain is more than a location. It's a stage between heaven and earth. From there, the Christ the Redeemer watches over Rio like a silent guardian, surrounded by clouds, sunlight, and the endless blue of the Atlantic. The choice of Corcovado wasn't accidental. Engineers and priests believed the mountain was a sacred place, a natural altar. Its peak, shaped like a bowed figure, seemed to offer the city below to the heavens. The statue itself was carefully positioned to face east toward the rising sun, symbolizing rebirth, light, and divine protection. At sunrise, the first rays of light touched the statue's heart, making it glow as if it were alive. Legends soon surrounded the mountain. Locals began to call it the Mountain of Miracles. Some said the clouds that often crown the statue represent divine presence. Others believe that lightning, which frequently strikes it, is not a curse but a blessing of power from above. What's undeniable is that the place feels charged with something beyond the ordinary. The wind, the silence, the vastness, everything there seems to breathe with meaning. And perhaps that's why millions climb its slopes every year, not only to admire a monument, but to stand in a space where faith and nature meet, where stone touches the sky. Every monument has its secrets, and Christ the Redeemer is no exception. Behind its calm expression and open arms lie stories that few people know, whispers hidden within the stone. During its construction, debates erupted about the true purpose of the statue. Some saw it as a symbol of national unity, others as a silent message of resistance in a country torn between faith and modernity. Rumors also surrounded its design. Paul Landowski, the French sculptor, never actually visited Brazil during the building process. Some say this distance gave the statue its unearthly quality, a figure that feels both human and divine, familiar yet mysterious. Then there's the lightning. Every year the statue is struck by powerful bolts that illuminate the sky above Rio. Engineers claim it's natural. The statue's size and height attract the storms. But for many locals, it's something deeper, as if the heavens were recharging the monument, keeping its energy alive. Inside the statue, hidden behind the stone exterior, there's a small chapel dedicated to Our Lady of Aparecida, Brazil's patron saint. It's a quiet space of prayer that few visitors ever see, a secret heart inside the monument's body. Even today, some say that on certain mornings, when fog surrounds the mountain, the statue seems to vanish, only to reappear moments later, glowing through the mist. Coincidence? Or something more? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. Christ the Redeemer is more than a symbol. It's a mystery carved in stone, one that continues to watch, to protect, and to keep its secrets. Since its inauguration in 1931, Christ the Redeemer has stood as a silent witness to everything that has shaped Brazil: joy and struggle, celebration and change. It has seen wars, revolutions, and rebirths. It has looked down upon a city that never sleeps, from the samba-filled nights of Rio's carnivals to moments of prayer, protest, and peace. Through it all, the statue never moved. It simply watched, its open arms offering calm above the chaos, its gaze steady while the world changed below. During times of hardship, the people of Rio looked to the mountain for comfort. The statue's glowing lights became a beacon, a sign that even in darkness, there was guidance from above. And as decades passed, Christ the Redeemer became more than a monument of faith. It became an icon of humanity, appearing in films, postcards, and dreams. Travelers from every continent came to stand beneath it, each finding their own meaning in its presence. In 2007, it was declared one of the new 7 wonders of the world, not for its size, but for what it represents: unity, peace, and endurance. Standing through lightning, wind, and time itself, the statue reminds us that even stone can carry a soul, and that some symbols are too powerful to ever fade. At sunrise, when the first golden light touches the statue's face, it feels as if the entire city awakens under its gaze, and at night, when the clouds drift around the mountain, the Christ seems to float, suspended between heaven and earth, glowing softly against the darkness. For decades, people have looked to the Redeemer for hope, in moments of joy, sorrow, and silence. But perhaps the real power of the monument lies not in its size nor in its height, but in what it represents: the idea that compassion, peace, and forgiveness can rise above any storm. The open arms of Christ the Redeemer are not just a symbol of faith. They are a message that no matter how divided or uncertain the world becomes, there is still a place where light conquers the shadows. Engineers can explain its strength. Historians can describe its past. But what makes the statue truly eternal is what it awakens in those who see it: a quiet sense of wonder, humility, and connection. Standing above Rio, surrounded by clouds and sunlight, the Christ the Redeemer reminds us that greatness is not about power, but about presence. And sometimes, the most powerful things in the world are the ones that simply stand, watching in silence. From its throne above the clouds, Christ the Redeemer has watched over Rio for nearly a century, through storms, celebrations, and silence. To some, it is a monument of faith; to others, a masterpiece of art and engineering. But to all who stand before it, one truth becomes clear: the statue is more than stone. It is a reflection of us. It reminds us that humanity is capable of beauty, unity, and hope, even in uncertain times. That we can build not just cities and machines, but symbols that touch the heart and speak to the soul. Christ the Redeemer may stand still, but its message moves across the world. In every sunrise over Rio, in every prayer whispered beneath its arms, and in every traveler who looks up and feels peace. So the next time you see that figure rising above the clouds, remember this: the real light of the Redeemer is not the one that shines on the statue, it's the one that shines through it. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more untold histories, and tell us in the comments, what does Christ the Redeemer represent to you? Faith, art, or something deeper? Because some monuments aren't just built to be seen, they're built to be felt.